No, Jamie, what'd you learn?
So I learned this. I saw this thing on Instagram that my friend Parisa posted.
Oh, Parisa.
And I've been practicing it, and it really helps. So her thing was, anytime you try this, anytime you go to complain about something, stop yourself, and before you start complaining, just say the words "thank you" out loud and see what happens.
I thought it was gonna be like some sex shit, and like some like, we're doing
pinch
this.
the tip of
That's
your
not
wiener.
my lane on the show. That's
like,
yours.
How many times can you come without it coming out? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's what I was thinking. But thank you, because I'm kind of complaining right now.
But so. Yeah, so and I've also applied that for when I feel guilty, because guilt is like a big thing for me that I deal with all the time. So anytime I'm going to start my guilty thoughts, I'll just say, thank you. And it really helps.
I do the same thing, but I do it like this. I go, thank you.
Is that how I talk?
No. That's not how you talk. That's just how I do it.
You're a dick.
I'm not saying
He is.
That's not how I'm saying you say it.
Tell Parisa.
Please don't tell Parisa I'd make fun
Whatever.
of you.
Shouldn't have opened my mouth. Bye.
This is what happens, Jamie-Lee. It's not easy starting the show.
Never start an episode again.
Cassim had nothing to say, and you got in trouble.
I love it. Do you find yourself at this point in the pandemic like more easily annoyed and willing to complain, or?
Yes, I feel like I'm literally at my limit. I can't handle.
You're about ready to pop.
I've no bandwidth for anything.
I feel like it's been now it's easier for me. Things are easier because I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Good for you.
I know, but your life is so much different. And if I had to be around those two monsters,
Yeah.
you know, I would totally get it. So do you feel like you can see the sort of end to all this soon, or?
Well, we have a move coming, so I think that just like
it's gonna be one of the worst days of my life.
I think change is always exciting. You know what I mean? I'm prepared for all that's to come. I'm not putting like all my expectations that this is going to like fix everything. But I do think, especially for little ones, like hopefully this change and this excitement and all this newness will be less scary and more exciting and feel like an adventure that will be able to break out of kind of this rhythm that we've been going on that we can't seem to fix.
Yeah. I think it will do wonders. Me and Rob were just talking about how nice it's going to be for us to come visit, because I could really use.
Yes.
Now that my parents have like half their vaccines, I feel like I feel safer, and I
I'm
don't
getting
carry
mine
that
end
guilt.
of March.
Oh, I feel like you would have to get yours sooner.
No, it will, because I have to like time it with the medication I take has to be far enough away.
Yeah, all right.
But also, I feel like hopefully they're going to have a handle on the whole vaccine. You know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Distribution.
The
Thank
rollout.
you.
Distribution.
That's what I'm here for.
You know, by end of March, late April. Anyway, but my gosh, it's a 2-hour flight. I know that that's like not the easiest for you, but consider
For
it
you,
like a weekend home.
For you, Jamie,
Really?
anything. Oh, I'm so ready.
I feel like this might like break you of like your flying.
No, because I'm just going to fly there once and then move there.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm done. But Jack the other day said the best thing ever, where he did something where like he threw something at somebody's face. I don't know what he did. I was like, Jack, you can't do that. And he looked at me and he said, I do whatever I want.
He
Yeah.
did.
Remember?
Oh my God.
Oh, I remember.
He's 2.
Shocking.
Now 3, right? But he was 2.
I have no idea where he learned that from.
But he used it so perfectly, and he wasn't looking to like shock you, nothing. He just told you, listen, I run the ship.
Yeah.
And that's Jack. That's who.
He's
and
really changed.
I was telling Cassim,
Yes.
though, that I read this thing where this mom put like, you have to think, instead of how do I fix my child to like be the kid I want him to be, and instead be like, what kind of mom do I need to be to help this child? And I realize now that's what I have to think about when it comes to Jack. Jack is who he is. I'm not going to try and change him. I got to just figure out how to work with it. Because yesterday he was on one of his hitting streaks again.
Oh.
And I was like, you can't do that. And he kept going, I have to. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
WTF?
The power of Christ compels him.
Yeah, he's gotten noticeably angrier.
Yes.
And I can't.
Holds his pee all day.
Oh, what
6
a nightmare.
hours will hold his pee.
That's incredible. When it comes
is
out, is
fun
it bright
still.
orange?
I have no idea. It's as soon as I put a nighttime diaper to finally go to sleep, he'll look at me and go, and he'll just let it all out.
Can't be good for his tiny little bladder.
No, that's why I've given up on potty training.
I tried to get him to pee on the potty. I tried my damnedest.
You did, Rob. You guys were in a standoff for like a solid
Rob showed him how to
hour.
do it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Pulled
I'm
his pants down.
Yeah.
Gosh,
It was hard to fit on that potty, but once I did.
Yeah, you're
But you
tiny
got
enough.
on.
I was impressed
Yeah.
that your butt could fit on that thing.
Yeah, and then you still needed the little footstool that you have at home.
His mini
Yeah.
squatty potty.
Squatty potty.
So you were on a little potty with a squatty potty, so your knees were up here.
No, I just used 2 of those little blocks with the letters on
Yes.
them. You know, I had
Yeah.
the mini, I put my feet on there. Speaking of going down with the ship, I was thinking about this the other day. I think the dumbest thing of all time is that saying, right? Where it's like, we go down with the ship. Like you see in Titanic, where it's like, hey, you know what? The ship's going down. The captain's like, I'm going to die now.
Yeah.
It is.
That's
well,
insane.
it's like this old-fashioned, like, honor, like, duty, male thing.
Yeah, it's like in the same world as like people who used to duel because you insulted them.
Mm-hmm.
See, I could get on board with that because sometimes there's time with me and you where I'm ready to. I want to duel.
Take 10 steps and turn around.
Yeah, but if the car bursted into flames, I wouldn't be like, oh, I got to get in.
It's just one of those things like we don't have to like attempt to die,
No.
for us to get through this
That's
thing.
how I feel about UFC.
Oh,
What the fuck?
you're saying they don't have to do that.
I don't understand it.
Well, some guys just, that's
There's
all they know.
so many ways to show
Fist,
your
face.
athleticism, your toughness.
Well, some
like,
people, that's
training.
UFC.
I just think it's
Say it's
terrible.
barbaric.
It's barbaric. But even when we were watching the fight at our house and Bo was awake and he was looking, he was, you realize from a child's perspective, he was like, I don't like this. I was like,
Yeah.
I know, I don't either. Like,
I watch him do it to Jack every fucking time I go over there. He punches him in the
It's
head.
natural.
Yeah, he elbows him into the corner.
Yeah.
Gets him in a rear naked choke. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, it's one of those things where I think money's a big motivating factor, but like in Bridgerton, right?
Ugh.
Our favorite show.
The boxing.
There's a scene where the main guy's got a duel.
Oh, yeah.
The Duke
because
of
he
Hastings
kissed
has to
his
duel.
sister.
Yeah, he like disrespected.
Can you imagine? There would be nobody alive.
This was like what, 200 years ago or 150 years ago that this
Yeah.
was like common practice.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
You're not engaged to my sister and you kissed her.
right, you
One of
kissed
us
my
has to
sister,
die.
but you didn't propose. Now we will pull out guns and shoot each other.
Holy shit.
The next
See, that
morning.
I could get on board with. But like
Oh,
the
can
whole
you-
like there's a bunch of wood nailed together and it's going to go down to the water and you're like, "Hey, I have to die maybe one of the most worst deaths in the world because someone built this piece of shit wrong or like
Someone
Right.
didn't see an iceberg ahead.
But isn't
Yeah,
there
well, that's
something
kinda his fault,
kind of
but-
nice about the
He
captain?
should die.
yeah.
Is there something kind of nice about the
Rest in
captain
peace.
saying like, "I'm giving all the lifeboats to the passengers,"
yes.
right?
Yeah, well, that's
And-
his job. That's his duty.
and I will just sit at the bow, the last part to get in the water and do this, you
Yeah.
know. And then hopefully, like once he knows everyone else is, hopefully he finds a fucking like door to like, much like the movie Titanic.
Like Rose.
Yeah.
Well,
He
that
could have
makes
easily
me
fit.
think, back to the Bridgerton thing. What if you had to marry the person that you had your first kiss with?
Oh my God.
I wouldn't even know.
My mom?
A sneaker? I wouldn't
My hand?
I wouldn't even know who my first
that's
kiss
the time.
was.
Like we would have been having babies at 16.
I mean, I
I
almost had
would
babies
be
at 16.
dead. I would be almost dead.
I almost had a baby at 16 and it wasn't with the girl I first kissed.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh God.
Oh, well,
What?
it was close.
I've had a close call.
It was close.
I've had a close call. There's that movie, The Crush or whatever it is. It was that Alicia Silverstone movie
Orange Crush?
Oh, with the
with Carrie Elwes, and they have sex, and then he throws away the condom in the trash, and then she takes the condom and takes his stuff out of there and puts it in her, and then claims she was sexually assaulted.
Oh, because I had a girl poke holes in
That's
condoms with me.
That's crazy to me.
When?
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
How old? How old?
It was
Very
a long
recent.
time ago.
But how old were you? Like a teenager?
Late teens, yeah.
That's not all right. Was she older?
What age is it okay to
It's
poke
never
holes
all right.
in?
It's
At
never
that age,
all right.
that
But,
is not okay.
When did
Meaning,
you
like, that
start?
girl-
Cutter was 19 when you did it to him.
Yo, you locked him down.
Hey, he wanted me off birth control.
It's so hot when a girl's like, yeah, I stopped taking the pill. Right?
I just can't imagine being a teenage girl and being like, I want to lock this person down, so I'm going to get pregnant.
Well, Jane. I mean, look at me, babe.
True.
I'm the color of a fucking an apple right now, I'm sure.
Pink lady apple.
Yeah.
Look,
a
for those of you watching, Rob's really been on this warpath about the color of his skin
We
on this show.
apologize for the color of Rob's skin in recent
It's
episodes.
really been a thing, you know.
We're having to darken the mood,
Well, it's
but we're
because
still happy.
me and Jamie are more of an olive, you know.
No, I think
We
it's
look
more
great. I
about.
mean,
I was actually looking at your legs are so tan.
Really?
Yeah, when you
When
came
were you
over
looking
the
at my
other day.
legs?
When we were all laying on the floor watching a movie the other day, there was no football on, so you guys came over and we
Oh, it
just
was
were like
just me
laying
and
around
you.
watching, and it was just us when you
It was
first
just
got
me and
there.
Jamie for a little while at the
It
house.
was.
Yeah, it was real
watching
nice.
Hook
Yeah, just me and you watching movies, man.
on the floor.
That's our sports. Yeah. That was right after I came back from a Bumble date.
Here we go. Pew, 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 pew.
Tell us about
I got to tell you,
I've already heard about it, so I'm gonna check my.
I went on one.
This vibe that Cass gets from ladies is just so consistent.
It's so consistent. It's the only thing I know that will. I went on this Bumble date, and guess what we did?
I know, so I can't.
Social distance walk.
What do you think we did, Bryce? Gabby?
Hey, Bryce in the building.
Bryce said bang.
What do you think Cass did on his date? Park.
Park. Yeah, it was a hike. And
Riveting.
look, this is the only thing I'm going to say about for those of you that are on dating apps and you decide that, because the hike right now is like the go-to thing because it's outside. Just make sure you don't pick a hike that's so like exhausting that you can't like breathe and speak. You know, there's a lot I wanted to say, but there were moments where I just had to catch my breath and breathe. You know, and I will tell you that the conversation got much better on the downhill.
You got a little pep in your step in the downhill.
More pep in my step, a little more air in my lungs.
How was she doing?
I have a feeling, according to her, the entire date was downhill. But go on.
Look, lovely person. You know, it was a great date. I didn't make a complete fool of myself. There was even like a moment after where we went and got coffee. And no, God, no. This is what I don't know about dating. I don't know when to do that. And I don't even know when, like...
That's so weird. Like,
'cause
you
I've
gotta
never
get tested
dated like
to, like,
this.
be next to each other?
Yeah, do we both have to get COVID tests?
God, what a time to be alive.
Gabby, if you met somebody and you went on your first Bumble date, when is the kiss gonna happen? Is it on the second date, third date? Do you have to get COVID tests? You say yeah.
Yes.
I always lie and I say I take it very seriously.
Yeah. This is the first time I've
I actually
left
have
my
a
house.
very tight bubble, and like you're just a very rare exception. And don't get too close. No, I do have a pretty tight bubble, but yeah, I think I always feel like each person is posturing a little bit about how safe they are, and I don't know if
It's my least favorite part about it.
about
Like the
looking
the
how
judgment,
responsible
like
you
the
are.
COVID
Yeah.
judgment.
See, I have to lie and say I'm less safe than I am so people don't think I'm insane. I'm like, yeah, I leave my
Yeah.
place.
Right.
I see people.
I haven't lived alone for 5 years waiting for this moment.
I don't Lysol everything I buy at Erewhon.
You know what I gotta say? I never bought into that. I never did that from day one.
Oh my God, I did it for so many months.
I never Lysoled anything I brought into my house.
Oh,
I think it's a big
hated
step
that
for you.
part.
Yeah, well, this brings back, so what Jamie was saying about UFC, right, is like, the therapists say that when people have certain issues and then they gravitate towards a profession or a thing that without this thing, then they would be a problem to society.
Yeah, it's an outlet for them.
Right. So like Jamie says to me, like, when we talked about your biggest fears, Jamie was like, oh, your biggest fear would be like germs or whatever, where in reality, I don't worry about germs at all because I know how much I clean my hands and how clean I am. So it's like you find the thing that makes you not worry about your OCD
Of
or the
course.
this or whatever. So it's like when you like people would probably think I think about germs all the time, where really it's like I know I'm so. It would be like Tom Brady being worried about playing the Super Bowl. You know, he's like, I've been playing this game my whole life.
Right.
Like
I know how to get to a Super Bowl.
yeah, I know how to navigate the whole. Like as soon as they were like, "Here's a problem. You're gonna have to start washing your hands, stay away from germs." I was like, "Yeah, what am I doing? Like
Yeah.
this is what I've been."
This has been your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, they might as well have been like, "You're gonna have to start eating once a day,
Yeah,
and, you know,
right.
live alone." Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, welcome to it. I've been doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's like, and the same thing with actors, probably, right? It's like a lot of actors, you go, man, that person's crazy. But when they get to act and when they get to be these like crazy characters and do all this crazy shit, then they're like, oh, this lovable person because
Well, you see there, you have to have, you can't judge the character you're playing. So you have to have like, compassion and understanding from like where they came from and why they are the way they are. So yeah, I think usually you'd think being an actor allows you to be like a more compassionate human,
Yeah.
like in general.
Or you're just a psychopath and you mimic human behavior and can't
That too.
understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there was a guy who like bought a hotel. I watched this documentary on him. He bought a hotel.
Cameras in there.
And not only cameras, he created an entire like skywalk
Saw it.
above the thing so he could watch everyone in the room, all the fucking, all the showering, all the
Such a good idea.
and such a good documentary. Yeah.
Such a good documentary and something
Where
I
was
hope
the
to
hotel?
recreate. Dude, it was
I
in
don't
like
remember.
it was in some bumfuck.
Don't worry, nowhere you'd ever stay.
Yeah. Dude, where do you think it was? Palm Springs?
Yeah. Even if, don't worry, Jamie, it was only 4-star. It was only a 4-star hotel.
What are you saying, first of all?
I'm just kidding, Jamie-Lee.
Here's-
You're one of the fucking people. You're
I'm not fancy.
here's something
you're one of the
I mean, I can fuck
peoples.
with fancy, but
On the topic of voyeurism, I have a tough time. Like my ex had her house faced towards other houses, and it was on a walk street, right? So everyone's window, you can see into everyone's living rooms, and I felt very weird hanging out in the living room, like people being able to just walk by. And it's Venice, so people can just walk
Yeah.
by, and like there's always some fucking
yeah.
somebody walking through. And, especially if it's lit inside and dark outside, you can't see who's out there, but everything's on display. I always thought that was so weird, but
Yeah.
she was not, she had no problem with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Where do you guys land on the
I don't love
comfort
it.
level?
I had that like front room in my house.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of the times
That
when,
you never
like
go
in
in.
Christmas, we always end up
Yeah.
there. But it's weird to think that when people are walking down the street, they're just watching what we're doing. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite.
Right.
If it was just you and her in that place, it's hard for me to believe it was ever lit.
And with that, we're going to
Whoa.
go to an ad break and
Whoa.
come back with a very special guest.
That was for our under 21 crowd. That was for the Gabs and the TikTok Nation out there.
All
I'm
right.
fucking throwing my weight around in the fucking TikTok Nation, bro.
There you go.
It wasn't.
We're just
lit.
trying to speak to all their demographics.
Yes.
You are in a living room that's somewhat exposed. You don't want people to know
Is this-
you are.
is this
You
off
can
the
wear a
cuff?
mask. You can wear a mask. A Braddock mask, to be honest.
Come
Our
on, we
favorite,
fucking
the
love
affordable, reusable. You're going to put it on my arm? Braddock has solved all of our problems with their daily face covers and scarves. Braddock daily face covers are the most comfortable, breathable, affordable face masks made from premium upcycled t-shirt material. Look at this variety of fabrics, and
It's lit.
it's lit. You can match them to all your different things, do your TikTok dances. They're handmade in LA, which is here to protect our community and our fellow citizens. It's born out of a necessity. Their factory's fully stocked. They do it all under one roof. 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy, just let them know and they'll make it right. So now when you go to check out their website and you see their great product, their prices already at BraddockUSA.com, you will also find that for a limited time, they are offering an additional 20% off with promo code PJPants. Again, that's 20% off your entire order with promo code PJPants. We say it every week, you guys. BRADDOCKUSA.com. Shout out to whoever tagged us on Instagram with their order number using promo code PJPants. That was rad. So you guys tag us and know your orders, and we'll repost you. That's what the kids say. BraddockUSA.com with promo code PJPants.
If you need a mask, these are the best. That's it. My favorite masks. I have a whole bunch from the beginning of the pandemic. These are the only ones I wear.
That's it.
I mean, come on. We shouldn't even need to do ads for Braddock because They're the best.
That's right.
Let me
Becomes
introduce
a
our
verb.
guest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big deal for me today because I brought a guest on for a change.
Huge.
You know, and he wasn't on The Sopranos. You weren't, right?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so
fan.
ladies and gentlemen, Nick Rutherford. He's a great pal. He's a great writer. He's written for SNL. He's written on a great show called Dream Corp on Adult Swim right now. You're writing on Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
You're an actor. You're a stand-up. You're an improviser.
Oh boy.
But above all that, you're just a great pal.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Nick Rutherford. I've written for SNL.
No, I said that. I went over that.
But you said improviser though.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, and you hit great pal.
I guess I said all
Okay,
that.
perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm very happy to be here.
It's so nice to have you. It's been a while, and I know it's tough to see new friends during all this, but glad you could make it in. And you are clean.
I'm clean. I got tested. I got my results. I was gonna show it to you guys, but I didn't know how weird you guys are.
We're not,
You're-
we're
not
not
weird.
we
weird.
were just talking about how we pretend to be like, you know, more responsible than we actually
COVID
are.
woke, we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I hate this question, but how was your pandemic? How's your quarantine? Because it's like everyone's had a rough go at it, and I know everyone that watches this podcast knows I went through some stuff, and you know, what I am genuinely interested in how yours has been.
Well, I started dating this girl, and we bought a house together immediately,
What?
and like, then
You
the
guys must
house-
have been getting along great.
Yeah, we totally were. And she doesn't even have a phone. She never text messaged anybody at all.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, that's my Nick. That's my story.
That's your story?
Yeah. What's?
Oh, that's you. Okay, yeah. No.
I know you mix them up.
I mix them up sometimes.
Yeah. No, what's going on with you?
Well, you know, the same. You have like existential crises all the time.
Yeah.
I really think like in the past couple weeks is when I hit like a peak of it. Like early on, I would tell my girlfriend all the time, like, even to kill the ship, you know, like people are gonna lose their minds. We have to just like be okay with people being weird. Everybody's gonna be weird, but like we just have to keep it steady. You know, just keep it steady. And I was like really this rock. And then like a month ago, you know, I just stopped caring about anything. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I have nothing to look forward to, and I'm lucky to work throughout it, so that's fine. But it just like nothing seemed to matter, and you just hit this wall.
Yeah.
For sure.
But other than that, like I'm fine. I never got sick. Nobody in my family got sick. Like I got very lucky. I was like had a pretty successful year, regardless of everybody else having a shitty year. So
Well, let's talk about that.
I'm like the 1% now. I guess.
You are, and I am so proud of you.
Jamie is too.
And Jamie's very proud.
So proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Well, I meant she's one of the 1%.
Oh yeah, but she's also proud. Here's the thing. I have.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's
I didn't
nice.
like-
Yeah, it's pretty nice here.
I used to judge it not being there, you know,
No.
when I was like a 2 or 3. But
Right.
now at the 1.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
it's
get
where it's
back
at.
to where you guys are.
You're so
Because
close.
I slid.
You're
Did you
so
slid?
close.
With the
I
house?
slided. I have a lot of money wrapped up in a house I don't own right now and don't live in, and make no revenue from.
That's
so.
hard.
That sounds a lot like Nick's story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Wait, are you
once
Are you
again,
taking his
that was
story?
that was my story, guys. That was my story.
Did you write on SNL, Kaz?
No. That was Nick. That was Nick.
You're a good pal. Great.
You're a great pal.
He's a pal.
He's a pal.
What's it like riding on Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
You hate that
it's-
question, though, right? You hate that question.
Well, I don't know if I hate it, but like I don't have an interesting answer, you know?
Yeah.
Like-
Well, no, we're gonna get an interesting.
Okay.
I meant you hate asking it like Cassim hates
We're gonna get
asking
it.
his.
Yeah, we're gonna get an interesting answer. But you, okay? So you just, I don't want to dance around it. You won an Emmy last year. You won an Emmy for best outstanding animated series.
Yeah, Rick and Morty won an Emmy, and then because I work on it at the title that I have.
Don't minimize your
Okay,
success.
I won
Yeah.
an Emmy because I created Rick and Morty.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Congrats.
That's too far. That's and
okay.
also inaccurate.
Yeah, inaccurate.
Um,
As a writer and / producer on it, they gave me a statue as well,
Cool.
which was wild.
What? How did that work during the quarantine? Did they just mail it to you, or was there like a Zoom?
I was actually doing there was a Zoom event. I was doing my buddy's podcast where we were like metal detecting on the beach.
Okay.
And so I was I was dressed like a lunatic metal detecting. And
Yeah.
like everybody hates the metal detector guy. I mean, they want to talk to you.
Right.
Yes.
But I was metal detecting, and then I was like texting like Steve Levy, one of the producers on the show, like, so where are we watching this tonight, and what time does it start? And he's like, it starts in 10 minutes, and we're all at like Dan's house, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that should be fine. These award shows are usually 3 hours long or whatever. We'll just head back now. He's like, no, we're the first award up. So I found out that we won while metal detecting on the beach, like a ragamuffin. Is that a word?
Yeah.
A vagabond. I was like a vagabond on the beach and found out that I had an Emmy.
I thought you were gonna say the detector was like boop boop boop, and you reached down and just pulled out
There
the
it
Emmy.
is.
That would be the photo shoot.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that would be the photo shoot. So
Well, congrats,
yeah.
man.
I think that makes you cool that it happened that way.
I think so too.
Oh, dude,
it would make it cool if I
so
knew.
spacey. I forgot.
Well, that would be cool too. But
Yeah.
it would be cool if I was like, oh, the Emmys are tonight. I gotta chase another type of gold, my man. But I didn't know. I'm just an idiot. And my girlfriend was very mad. And then we like raced home and got to this.
You're a gadget guy, and so am I. I know that about you. There's maybe a few days in every 6 months that I contemplate metal detecting and becoming a metal detector.
I did buy one.
You did it. You fulfilled
I did
it.
buy one, yeah.
There's like all kinds of things that these things do, and they tell you how deep the thing is, and like some of them are better. Well, yeah, please, can you just do a sidebar of metal detector?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this will tell you like we think there's a nickel in here.
Right, because it based on the type of metal. It knows what type of
metal.
metal.
Yeah, kind of knows a type.
Or a
and
bottle
whatever.
cap, or.
And then you dig, and it's never a nickel. It's always a gum wrapper.
The
bottle
enemy
top.
to the metal detector. Yeah.
Battery, a jewel cartridge. Like it is never. We didn't. I think we found a dime.
Yeah.
What are people looking for with metal detectors?
Rings.
Nazi gold.
Jewelry?
Nazi gold.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
That's what I would
Nazi
be.
gold specifically.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Argentina and metal detect like a lot of
Yeah,
it.
that's smart.
What's in Argentina?
Nazi gold.
Nazi gold.
See, I
Why
wanted
is
to
it
go.
there?
Because that's where the Nazis went.
They all
They
fled.
went after? Oh, they went to Argentina. I didn't know this.
I wanted
so
to go
cry
on.
for them.
Yeah,
Argentina.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yes.
Yeah.
Very. A lot of tears for them. Shit.
good. So here's the deal. I want to know kind of how the Rick and Morty thing happened, and because you're on your third season of Dream Corp, which is on Adult Swim, by the way.
Yes.
And
Hulu.
there's a lot of parallels to the two shows.
Yeah, there are.
And did you get your gig on Rick and Morty because of what you were doing on Dream Corp, or did that come completely separate and you just met Dan through other?
I don't think it had anything to do with
Yeah.
it. Mike McMahon, who was one of the like first writers on Rick and Morty, then became like the showrunner of it. I had worked with him years ago, and he just liked me. And then when they were hiring people, he was like, "Are you available?" And I was like, "No, we're shooting Dream Corp." So like I missed a season. It just came through him.
Yeah.
If anything, I think that was a disadvantage because Dream
Oh.
Corp has like this mad scientist, and I kind of play his sidekick.
Right.
I mean, it's a little more dense than that, but there's very like clearly you don't watch a lot of the show. There's a lot
I'm
of
in the middle of the
surface
second
level-
season.
Sorry. Okay. There's a lot of
Don't be
surface level
angry.
comparisons, but I don't. I think also because I was then in the Adult Swim family, they were like, "Well,
Yeah.
let's keep Nick around and have him write this other show in between his show." And but I don't
Right.
know. I think it's really, I think it's Mike McMahon, and then through him I met Dan in like this kind of brain room. You know, it was like a weird, hey, let's shoot ideas off of each other. And I told a story about going to like a brothel in London, and I think he really liked that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear the brothel story, but only if
Well, I mean, I did. Nothing happened. It was more like
you didn't fuck.
No, I didn't fuck. No. But I mean, have you heard of the place called the Box?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. In New York?
There's one in New York and one in London. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got like, I was dating this girl for like 8 years, and then we broke up, and so I was super single. And so I went with a buddy to London. He was like, let's just go to London. We went to London, and he's much more famous than any of us here. And so
So he got you into the
he
box.
got us into the Box. And he at the Box, there's just this side room where it's just a big square bed, and it's very like eyes wide shut. Like
Yeah.
there's like sex acts happening, but they're like sex performers. It's not really stripping. Like there's like a candle lady who comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then people kind of get involved, but like, you know, it's not, I mean, maybe it's gross. I don't know. We were kind of on Molly, but at some
Kind
point.
of on Molly.
Kind of on Molly.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point, like, I don't really remember all of this, but my buddy was like, at some point, like, this girl was like on the thing making out with somebody, and you like just like walked up to the square bed, turned your back on it, fell down and then kind of like wormed your way across the bed until you were like between her legs, and then you just started biting her thighs. And I was like, yeah, I kind of remember that. And nobody was like, whoa, sir, no.
Yeah.
They were like, all right,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
thanks for volunteering.
Right.
And then that was like the extent of
That's
it.
how you got your SAG card.
That's how I got my SAG card, yeah. And then I think the next time we went to the box, we went twice. There was that time somebody grabbed me and threw me on the bed and then like poured a bunch of candle wax on me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I told this story. It was pretty fresh at the time
Yeah.
to Harmon, and I think he was just like, my
That's
man.
my guy.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's my guy.
It takes a special person to
Yeah.
crawl up on a stage and bite some
I
thighs
feel-
that you
Yeah,
don't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, we didn't even talk afterwards.
I feel like
Wow,
I
that's a
would
baller
be in
move.
that situation.
That's a
No,
and
I think it's
1%
a
move.
dirty move. That's a 1% move. I'm learning the rules.
You
I don't
are.
know.
You're doing well.
I want to know if you've ever been in a weird, sexy, like eyes wide shut situation. I've
been to the box in New York, which I think was tamer than
Yeah.
the London one. I think they tried to. I mean, it was weird, and they did weird things, but I don't think they ever went like as far as that.
What's a weird thing that you saw?
I can't remember specifically.
I
I mean,
can-
there's.
I could-
oh,
I
great,
could-
he's got
I
it.
could
Let's do
speak.
it.
So there was man, I don't know the politically correct term because I don't have social media, but well, if I was describing this to a police officer, I'd say it was a man from the waist up, a woman from the waist down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
And
Like a
would
mermaid.
Did you have to describe this to a police officer?
would do all this crazy shit like show, and then the end was would take a bottle of Jack Daniels full, shove it in his or her pussy and like fuck themselves with it, and then spray the Jack Daniels out into the crowd. That was like the
Wow.
it was Gallagher-esque.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's talent.
Yeah,
That was one of the
that's
that
the
was
box.
that was like the closer that I remember. And then there was something with like a toilet and a plunger and like shoving that up somebody's ass. There was all this they would do crazy
To
shit.
get into one of these, you got to know somebody. One is like a Magic Castle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even that exclusive. I think you can just buy tickets enough in advance because it is like just a really bizarre burlesque show ultimately. Because I saw like somebody, a female performer, like paint a picture with her period blood.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just really hot stuff.
It was
Yeah.
a period
Yeah.
piece.
It was a period.
Is it a place where you walk around and like there are dudes jerking off?
No.
So that
It-
wouldn't be
no,
cool. Because that's the only thing that really would interest me.
Maybe in that little square.
You want to see
bedroom.
dudes jerking off?
No, I would.
Always,
I would,
man.
Well, for sure. But
You
I
are
would be the
just-
one doing it.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get
predictable.
involved, or I'd rather just watch.
Yeah, you're a
You
a
know that
water
about
boy.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would always try to be cool enough, but I wasn't into drugs enough. I think when I was going to those places, that when it got to that hour where you just could feel the energy shifting to something a little bit different, I'd be like, I can't hang.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Right.
See,
But
I
I
was
just
cool.
don't have it in me.
I was cool having sex with like a bunch of people in the room. I've done that a bunch where it was like, oh, one couple here, one couple where there was like 10 of us in this. But as soon as somebody tried to like, hey, let's make this a like whole thing, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, like that.
Yeah.
You've done that a bunch.
Well, I mean, from 17 until 28, I went out like every night in New York City,
And just
partying, drugs, like the last time I partied was my birthday 8 years ago. I took 35 Molly. Like
What?
that's where I was at the time. Yeah, because it was just like I moved to Vegas alone to party. Like I went with a bag for 2 weeks and I came home 2 years later.
Jeez.
It was insane, and I got so good at partying, had nothing else to do, that you end up being in those
Yeah, sure.
situations. All of a sudden you're like everyone's in a room and like you look over and like people just started fucking, and then you don't say anything, and then somebody else starts fucking, and then you're like, hey, well, I'm high. Let's
Yeah.
we start fucking in this. But then there were times where people were like, hey, like grab your arm, and you're like, get the fuck off me.
Yeah.
Like you come back to the ground real
Yeah.
fast.
Have
Yeah.
you ever been fucking someone with an audience? Like
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
that you've been that guy where people are
Oh, no.
watching.
Well, that has happened, yeah, but that wasn't really planned. That was more of like just this passionate thing that happened. And then we looked, and there were a bunch of people watching, because it was downstairs in a club, where, and it was downstairs in
I
a
love
club.
when you say that because it makes me sound really cool.
Yeah, where like the drink, where like the waiters would go and put like all the dirty dishes and like all the shit, and me and this girl fucked down there, and then all of a sudden, like, we looked and there were just like the next time I came into the club, this guy was like, "Yo, yeah," and like everybody was like laughing while I was walking in, and I was like, "Hey, this is the, what are you gonna do?" You know?
There's that
Like,
rabbit
fuck
fucker
guy.
guy.
yeah, and I was like, "All right, let's fucking take a shot." And
I wanted to take a moment and I wanted to showcase a little bit of Dream Corp because, like I
Yes.
said, I am in the middle of the second season.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
They're incredibly.
I watched a bunch last night.
They're 11-minute
Yeah.
Thank you.
episodes.
Yeah.
I think
God.
I think the format is so great because that they're short. I feel like that saves you money to spend on the computer CGI side of it.
The rotoscope stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like everything else isn't mostly in one location, but you guys do. I feel like I want to show the clip so people who haven't seen it can watch it, and then I want to talk to you about kind of how it's made and stuff like that. Bryce, you got that? They're both
Should
great.
I set this up?
Yeah, set it up. Set it up.
Okay. So the conceit of the show is that it's a dream therapy facility. I'm like the intern. I'm not the intern. I'm like the janitor / fake doctor. And there's this guy, Dr. Roberts, who is this mad scientist who dives into people's self-conscious while they're asleep and then manipulates it to solve their problems, quit smoking, etc., whatever it is. This character's problem was she couldn't touch people. She had an intimacy problem. Her skin would burn if she touched people. It's a real thing. I forgot the name of it. So they decide to send her on a dream date, and they send in me and pretend that I'm a doctor, that I can actually do this, even though I'm like the schlubbiest asshole on the show. And so now this is like we're in the middle of the dream date. I haven't made a move, and they're about to hit us with 35 hits of Molly.
Great.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ, 88! Kiss her! Slink her the tea.
The love serum for the mind. Very, very potent. Ready?
Copy that, Doc.
You want a kiss?
Hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are stimming the love.
How about now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Look.
Yeah.
You get to work. You get to have like all these great guest actors
Yeah,
for each
we
one.
have amazing guest actors and actors. Yeah, it's really a dream job. I hate that I know.
It's like ayahuasca, you guys. This is what I'm telling you. It is. It's
Well,
like,
okay, so
It's like Molly.
yeah.
here's what I want to know, right? So you guys get to shoot all the stuff in the laboratory, and then everything else, all the dream sequence stuff, is all, I'm assuming, shot on a green screen, but then they rotoscope over it. is
Yeah,
what you're saying.
it's not really a green screen necessarily.
Yeah.
It's like just a stage with a bunch of tracker dots everywhere,
Uh-huh.
and they'll bring in like things to represent because they just draw everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so they don't have to cut anything out. But it's painstaking. They have to animate over every frame.
So how do you okay, so on an Adult Swim show, I assume most of those shows are kind of low budget and have like a shoestring budget. How do you, is it because the episodes are short and they're 11 minutes that you're able to do that, or do you guys just have a decent budget and that
I
you can
think we're
afford it?
like the most expensive show they have.
Yeah.
Which is not a good. You don't want to be the most expensive show, unless you're
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones, and we're not Game of Thrones.
But it's so clearly like above and beyond a lot of what you see on
Yes.
television.
Yes.
And it's, I mean, Stephen Merchant, who I love as like
Oh,
a
he's
voice. I
amazing,
mean,
yeah.
I heard an episode with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he plays a dragon.
Yeah,
at some point.
like a devil.
God.
Yeah.
So cool.
some deathly
I
devil
mean,
fire
it's really something else, and like it's no surprise that it's in its third season, and I don't know if you guys plan on doing more. but-
I would love to do more of it. This is maybe boring, but like, so Adult Swim owns it. Hulu has the streaming rights,
Mm-hmm.
but now HBO Max, HBO has bought Adult Swim, or Turner bought HBO, whatever. Now they're all the same thing. Yet
That's
we
easy to
can't
track.
put it on HBO because Hulu has
Hulu.
the rights. So HBO wants to make it a
who
show.
Disney owns a lot of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
confusing.
mean, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But basically, HBO doesn't want to touch it until Hulu gives it up, and Hulu doesn't want to give it up because they do really well with it.
Right.
But it's like, of course we want to be in HBO, and we also love being on Hulu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. That's
But,
how I watch it.
You know, I'd love to have an HBO budget and get to 30 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a really expensive show and it takes a long time. So
It's so smart.
what's
it's
the
like,
turnaround?
A lot of it's like profound too. Like,
It's like, okay, so I like, and I didn't mean to give it a Rick and Morty comparison.
No.
It's
I
just
didn't mean to get
on
so
that very
defensive.
surface level. You're right, but and I deserve that. And but there's like a lot of heart that you don't expect, and then like also just musically, there's like just a lot of great sort of like just music tracks that play over very cool sequences,
Yeah.
and it's very stylized and.
But the guy who created it, Danny Stessen, and edits a lot of it and directs everything, is like has a really great music ear, and he just like follows weird artists and brings them into the fold. So like everybody on the show is like this really bizarre, like cool artist. Like a lot of the music is made by this guy named Chad Van Galen, who's this Canadian artist who's just like, you just look him up. He's awesome. So like he's opened my eyes to so much stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like a music idiot. I listen to like podcasts and talk radio.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I rarely listen to music.
I will say this: the pandemic has cut out my podcast listening time because I'm in my house
yeah,
all
in your
the
car.
time. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Well, what do you do when you're just sitting around? You jamming your dick?
jam my dick,
Yeah.
cream my holes, you know, whatever, the usual stuff.
So, what is the turnaround on an episode usually, and what's that like? So you've written some as well, and I don't know. I think it said on your IMDb that you wrote like 8, 10.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, over the like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
We write like 3 or so a season, so.
So you get to write it, star in it.
Yeah, it's like so fun, and like because of the conceit of the show, you know, like you're in this fantasy world half the time. Like I'm playing, like in that sequence is a great example. Like I'm a soldier, and like we shot me as a soldier, and I get to do like the dying like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. You get a lot of
I've
fun
always
moments.
wanted, yeah. It's just like when you like I remember growing up as an actor, and it was like people were like, why do you like being an actor? It's like, oh, because this week I'll be a rocket man,
Right,
and next week I'm a doctor, and but
Yeah.
like that never happens.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just like, you know, you're just a kid you're somebody's kid for 10 years.
Right.
And then this is like, no, truly like every week, like we're in the desert or I'm in like a trash compactor and I'm meeting some like puppet monster. It's really amazing.
Do you, when you are doing like in that dream sequence, like, and you are a soldier, did you have to dress up in the soldier outfit, or do they draw the soldier stuff on top? Like, are you in a suit, like a onesie suit?
No.
Or are you in like a full
like a Tron suit?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Maybe that's the future. But no, you like they try to get it as close as possible.
So it's
you're in.
So it's still
fatigues.
like you're just shooting
Yeah.
those scenes anyways. They just make it look
There's just
cooler.
no background really, because they
Right.
want they want the folds of the fabric so that they can paint over it and stuff.
So it takes how long to get an episode from written to produce? Like
I don't want to screw this up, but like 3 months, I think. I mean,
Wow.
we write it
Considering how
over
much
like
work.
8 months or
Yeah.
6 months or
Yeah.
5 months or whatever it is, and then we shoot it in like a month.
yeah.
We have not enough time to shoot it. That's where we save money. We shoot
Yeah.
each episode in 3 days, which is not enough time. And then it's like a month and a half or 2 months and a half in post for
Yeah.
each
Wow.
episode. Because I mean, the animation is so painstaking.
Absolutely.
And they do it all in LA. It's all these like just really awesome artists who just all in one room.
Thanks for
animating,
keeping the business in LA.
Well, it's not like farmed out, which there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I guess everybody does it, but nobody does this animation. You can't send this to Korea because they like animate by keyframe. It's totally different.
yeah. It's an absolutely amazing show.
Yeah.
Thanks,
it
man.
Really
I'm really
is.
glad you guys have watched it because it's a really hard show to describe to people, and it's
Yeah.
really like people who watch it really love it, but to like get somebody on board, they're like, I don't want to watch another thing, and so like it really charms me that you watched it.
Yeah.
And Rob, I know you didn't watch it.
I did.
You did.
I did.
You just didn't like it.
No. I love
Okay,
it.
that's fine.
I'm just admiring Cass. You know?
Yeah.
He does. It's not often I get this from him.
Okay, I don't want to step.
Tell me if I'm wrong, or maybe it's just because I'm paying attention more, but I just feel like our generation, right? I'm assuming like we're all kind of around the same age.
60.
Yeah, me and Nick
Yeah.
are. You're a
I'm
little
older.
older.
I know. I'm on the cusp.
Yeah, me and Nick, thriving, young, vibrant, hardcock guys.
Virile,
Yeah. You a little
Okay.
older.
Well, so your generation, I feel like maybe I'm paying attention more, but I feel like a lot of you like really smart and funny actors are also writers, and I feel like that wasn't I feel like there weren't a lot of writer actors around, and I just feel like I'm noticing a lot of like my contemporaries, especially when I moved to LA and started getting in class and meeting other actors, because in New York we were kind of like in our own bubble there, like you don't get to meet a lot of other actors necessarily. And so when I moved here and got to meet a lot of people, everyone was writing their own shit. Everyone was creating their own things. And I don't know if that's new. I just feel like, I don't feel like that was happening a lot before.
I don't know. I mean, is possibly because it's very easy to shoot and make your own stuff now, and it wasn't
Maybe.
like that, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so this is where my expertise comes in because
Oh.
I thought it's a great observation, and I totally agree. And I think a lot of it has to do with YouTube and like, here's where, and this is how I met Nick. Was Nick is in my all-time favorite sketch group called Good Neighbor, and you know Kyle and,
Yeah.
and Beck and Dave McCary, and like. I was just the biggest fan of Good Neighbor. I was like, but I also was like, these guys don't make enough sketch. They don't.
Yeah, we didn't do anything. Really.
You didn't, you know, you guys were, you know, spending a lot of time, I think, pitching shows and I mean, there was like a
No.
comedy set. No.
No. Well, I mean, eventually, but
Yeah. Well, I felt like, look, if I have this heat on YouTube for this period of time, and all I can really do is like get people that I want to see more of and try and help them make more stuff. And so like I just sent out like kind of like a long shot, like, hey, I like you guys, and you guys were you guys met in college at USC.
Yep.
And then you did improv and then created Good Neighbor, and then your videos were like, in the comedy world, those were like the ones that everyone would watch and be like, you got to see that, you got to see this video, or you got to check out these guys, and the quality was so consistent. And so that's how I learned about you. And so to tie to what you're saying about how writing, and like, for me, YouTube became that place where if you could write and then direct and act in your own stuff, you could put it up and people would see it. And I feel like the singular vision of a writer, actor, performer became much more accessible with
Yes.
YouTube. Your path was inevitable for me regardless of YouTube. And this is a compliment.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I mean, it was also really exciting when we started working with you at Maker Studios.
it was exciting for me.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved that time. It was like this wild, wild west of the
Never
internet.
before I think we'll see that again, but
No.
it was like such a unique moment in time that was.
Yeah, right.
I
Are you dying?
No, I just need to get a little touch.
Fucking Disney.
Do you have COVID?
Yeah, it was very special, and I look back on a certain window of that time very fondly, and there's times outside of that window where I either cringe or I get angry, but there was a small window, and that was when we were doing stuff
Yeah.
together. And some of my favorite sketches that I've ever seen are ones that you wrote and that we did together.
Of course,
you
yeah.
know?
It was. I know we were kind of insulated from having to manage that entire thing, and you were like such a huge part of that. So we just got to have a great time when we
Yeah.
got all these production resources and met all these like lifelong friends, and we brought in people who like went skyrocketed through success after that, like Mickey and Sammy are doing incredible.
Yeah.
But I just remember you guys getting like a new space, or like you bought the space next to the space, or rented the space, and so it was like literally like they just opened the doors and it was like, go find your offices. And we like ran in. It was like supermarket sweep. And we like found like a little nook underneath a stairwell, and we're like, "This is the Good Neighbor
That's,
office."
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was great.
It was the Wild Wild West. It was so fun.
And everyone at the office was just like so happy that you guys were there and able to like do stuff, and everyone was just wondering what you guys would do next. And there was a moment where, like I said, your guys' path was sort of inevitable, and all you guys ended up going to SNL, which was such a sweet moment, and it meant that you guys were going to go do this thing, and I wasn't going to be able to work with you guys as often. But like, you're right, you met people that you'll be friends with forever. And like, there's not some people you have friends, you're like, that person doesn't deserve the success. You kind of have that sort of quiet
everybody.
anger about it, but like I never felt that way. And every time I see you guys doing something great, I get such a sort of I'm very proud.
Thanks, man.
I'm so proud of it.
I feel like I got to like kind of be around that a little bit when I did that Beef House show with Tim and Eric, because
Yeah.
I got to like really sit, because we got to be around brilliance, obviously, on The Sopranos and see but it's like a different energy. Like, it's like there's so much pride and there's so much intelligence that's going behind the work, but there's also like so much fun being had.
Yeah.
Like, just sitting back and being a spectator on that whole experience, like, I did not belong there, but that's kind of why I was there, was because I didn't belong there. But just watching the way that they created, and they were writing and starring and directing and hopping back and forth and having the time of their lives, I was like, this is how it should always be.
Yeah.
How lucky are we that this is what we do?
Totally.
Yeah. So I know what you mean when you root for people and you're like, of
Yeah.
course you're getting that success. Yeah.
I learned so much just being around you guys, watching how you guys created sketches and the workflow, the process. You know, you would think traditionally in groups that there's one person that pulled most of the weight and everyone else was just like good at voices or something, but everyone kind of in Good Neighbor had an equal.
Was good at voices.
Was it? You were all good at voices.
Were you guys
very much, sir.
That's not one of them.
Were you guys involved with the video with Kyle where he was like all about sports and he would wear like that varsity jacket?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, sport.
That was like
That was Kyle
Kyle's
and Dave.
Eagles. Kyle it was a Kyle and Dave, like that was their spin-off. It was like all these like solo Kyle videos, which were so amazing and great. And I mean all the stuff we made, I'm still like one of my favorite sketches of all time that we made together, period, is the corporate song and dance.
Oh, that was our first one we did together.
That was the first one?
Yeah.
That was so
Then
fun.
we did Crime Cops. Yeah, corporate song and
then
dance.
Time Cops.
Crime Cops. Time Cop is with Jean-Claude Van
I just
Damme.
watched it the other
He does the splits on a counter in a kitchen.
Yeah.
The corporate song and dance it's a very funny sketch. I'll show it to you. It's on my YouTube channel. But it was the first time
take it down?
first day I met you guys. No, I took down most of my videos except for ones I did with other people, and then some of the ones I really liked that I did.
We had to take down a bunch of videos too.
Yeah, it's part of growing up.
Okay. I don't like to talk about it, but yeah, it is part of growing up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And things that I did back then are, to me, I feel differently about them today, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But corporate song and dance was where we kind of first did a thing, and I was just like kind of like just happy to be there. We did Crime Cops, which is like our take on the CSI when they computer enhance.
Yeah, like the techie guys in any cop show.
Yeah.
Very good.
The forensic guys.
And I just watched that Need Space one that you wrote.
I love that one too.
Love Nick
That
looking
was
for a
fun.
parking spot and me not wanting to give it up.
That's a
necessarily.
simple, fun one.
Simple fun, and we had a lot of fun.
Real
and
moments.
Now you have a real life and real like responsibility, and
He won an Emmy.
and you have an Emmy.
I know. Yeah. It's,
Are you gonna get married?
I do want to get married, and
Yeah.
I want a family. And and you have a family. Rob, do you have a family? No. Yeah.
I am his family.
35.
He's
Hills
Uncle
deep.
Rob.
Uncle Rob. Okay. I would like to be an uncle too, but I don't know if my brother or sister are going to have kids anytime soon. So, but I do, and then I don't know how you get away with it or how you got away with it. I'm always like, I'm almost there. I'm almost at the point where I can like have a family.
I got pregnant by accident.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay.
What an honest.
That's
Well, I knew I always wanted it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it happened that way.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it happened that way because it's hard, especially when you're in a career like ours and like you're having success and you're rolling. Here's my only advice that I can give is like you think it's going to give you a pause, and it does change things absolutely, but it doesn't necessarily like mean it's going to like get in the way of any rhythm. You're just going to find a new rhythm.
Yeah. I've
That
heard
makes
that. I've also heard like you think you won't have any time, you'll have less time, but your time will be so focused that you won't dick around all day.
Yeah, that's very true.
You won't play 60 hours of Death Stranding. Like
Part of me really wants that dick around time.
I don't know. I'm kind of sick of the dicking around.
I want to give up some of it, but I think I need a little bit of it.
I feel like you'd be a great. Don't you think you'd be a great
The
father?
best.
Like,
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
so
I'm
good
so
with my kids.
ready.
you gotta
He's
meet.
so
You
good
gotta
with
meet
my
the right
kids.
girl.
My
buy
pussy
a
aches
house
for a
with
baby.
her. Sorry.
That's once again that happened.
No, I'm saying what you should. Oh, it did happen.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Have you ever seen how Cassim dressed to take the family to Six Flags?
No.
Oh,
Oh, I did full. Yeah, I did.
it might be the
like
hardest.
a dad.
It might be the hardest you've ever seen me laugh when we were.
Oh, I didn't know you loved this. Oh, thank you so much.
You don't remember we were
You
out
dressed
at
like
the.
I dressed like a dad. Yeah, I took my ex and her family to Six Flags, and I had a fanny pack and like
That's really
I
funny.
got a hat in. I got a hat from Martha's Vineyard. That there's it's an area called Gayhead.
Ah.
I just had a hat that said "gay head" and
The shirt was
fanny
tucked
pack.
in.
Yeah.
Your legs were very long, and you
Yeah.
were very like. You had the vibe of like you were always 6 feet in front of everyone. Like, come on, guys,
Yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah.
go. And
That's
they,
really funny.
I
they
do.
were
I do
so
practice.
embarrassed.
Yeah, I do practice for fatherhood, and I think I'm ready. But there is a lot of the things I like now that I'll have to lose.
Like what?
And I'm ready. I'm ready. I like my alone time. I do like my gaming.
Yeah.
I like my quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
And I go over to Jamie's house every Sunday, and I see what it's like. And
But you're also judging a year into a pandemic where we are never away from our children. So I think you
Right.
are seeing a very unfair
concentrated.
version
Yeah.
of parenting. Like having a toddler and a 7-year-old like home for a year, like you're seeing two people like on the brink of dying, but it's
Right.
not supposed to be like
You
that.
are withering away.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I'm
That's-
Yeah,
sick. I look sick.
All my friends with kids are losing their minds.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
truly, I can't even imagine. Like, that's the thing. Like, Lily and I just like, oh, we'll just drink wine earlier today. Like, that's what pandemic means for us.
Right.
And like to have to like school children and like not be able to pawn them off on a system like or
Yes.
like a
It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be this way.
No,
it's
it's
not.
not
This is
supposed to-
not
that's not
natural.
what we signed up for.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I've said a lot of times. I was like, this is not what I signed up for. But
That being said, I feel like this would be a great time to have a baby. If you had a baby 6 months ago, it'd be like, great.
you technically are quarantined
Yeah.
usually anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of. I watched like a lot of reality TV, and there was one show I was watching the other night where this guy's like, "Oh, I got to go away to shoot this other reality show for 2 months." And then when I come back, and like the girl's giving him all this crap, and I'm like, "Wouldn't you rather? Like, I would rather a spouse go away for 2 months and then be able to make enough money to the whole 10 months to actually be around and be present and not be like, oh, like because they go and make enough money on that reality show to where when they come back." Now for 10 months, they're just chilling and
Yeah.
being like your whole life is being a dad or a mom. And I'm like, I don't know how you could give someone shit. Like what you're telling him, like instead he should go be away from the house 8 hours every single day.
Right.
Then instead of
Right.
going away for 2 months, like I feel like that's the greatest thing. It's like, yeah, just
Yeah.
go away. And then when you come back, you're here every day.
Yeah.
It's like the firefighter schedule, but like expanded.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys really got it figured out.
They're so
All you got to do is
strong.
put your life in danger constantly.
I also feel like everything's kind of shifted though. In the beginning, it was like work from home and like, why don't we all do this? We look how productive we are. Now I feel like everybody's going to think like, give me somewhere to leave to go to
Yeah,
my
yeah,
house
totally.
to work.
Yeah, so for Rick and Morty, are you guys all zooming in, or is it?
Yeah, we've been zooming.
Yeah.
We've been zooming for months and months. We had a short hiatus. We actually start season 7 on Monday.
Wow.
And you've been there since season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
half of 4.
Half
Came
of
in like
4.
halfway through
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like 3 new writers. I don't know them personally. It was nice. Like, I mean, I'm sure it'll be great, and they seem really fun. They're all very funny. But at least for like, we were all in a writer's room together. Then quarantine happened. Then we zoomed together. But I knew everybody.
Right.
Like, you know,
Right.
you could podcast separately but you'd be
Yeah.
hard to start podcasting
Right.
separately. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, it'll be fine. Everybody's professional, and you know, you just gotta make up like Florpy Dorp alien names and.
Yeah.
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 I booked
But you're so good at
booked a
that.
job over Zoom.
Really?
Yeah. My first
Yeah.
day on set was the first day I met any of the producers or the director.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
I want to
crazy.
shoot something.
So she had to
in core.
sleep with the producer after she met him.
We FaceTime sexed, and that's how I
Yeah,
got the
that's
part.
true.
Yes.
So now you have a little bit of TV money.
A little bit too.
I saw you pull up in a slingshot, a
right.
Polaris slingshot.
That's right.
And I saw a video that you put on your Instagram very recently of you taking your Emmy out for a spin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened there? How'd you get a slingshot? I know you like cars a little bit.
A little bit,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm also more practical. Like my car.
That's the least practical thing I've ever
it's
seen
a
on the road.
3-wheel,
Yeah.
no roof,
No.
half a windshield, no doors. It's like a motorcycle with one extra wheel.
This is a dope neighborhood to drive around with no roof.
Yeah.
This area.
Why
yeah.
is that?
You should.
Did you get pooped on or something?
I don't know. Me and Cassim saw like chickens on the way here the other
Oh
day.
yeah. Yeah. It's
literally.
very, very possible you can get something dropped on you.
Okay.
Very-
Chickens
Yeah.
in the sky?
Very rural.
No, but it's just
People's
just this
laundry is
whole-
always hanging out here.
Oh, okay.
We're in the
just-
back of a sweatshop. If I open this door for you, you would see a fully functioning
Again,
clothing
I
business.
keep saying we need to do one episode where
And
you
we're
can
not
just
kidding.
really
Yeah,
see what's happening
It's
behind
legit.
us.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
steam coming out. From
When
the-
you drive through this area, what I meant was it's kind of nice to have a barrier
Yeah.
between you and
And
Yeah.
the
reality.
outside
Yeah,
world. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you always want a barrier, I think. especially now you're driving around without a mask, and I'm just like a super spreader in this thing. But so I didn't buy it. I'm not like that terrible with money, and I'm also not that 1%. But I was walking with my girlfriend, and there was a place that rents them in Glendale, or like on Glendale and Atwater. And our friends were at the beach, and we were going to potentially meet them, and we're like, let's just rent a slingshot from like Tops Off Rentals, which is like, what a sexy name.
Yeah.
Tops Off Rentals. We're going to get a slingshot, and then we tried to drive to the beach, ran out of time, and the guy was like, we're closing early tonight. Why don't you just keep it for 24 hours?
So cool.
Kept it for 24 hours. The next day, we actually drove to Dan Harmon's house, or we went to the beach and went to the canyons, which is a dream. I don't know. You're like a big car guy.
I mean, I do the canyons.
Yeah, it's really that's where you want to be. You don't want to be in traffic and like a
Sunday
slingshot.
mornings is like Sunday mornings in LA is like car guy day.
Oh, really?
Everyone goes and takes their cars. There's like no
yeah,
traffic.
No traffic. You just drive around.
Yeah, and everyone like they do their cars and coffee and meats and.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want to be part of car guy culture.
Oh, I'll take you, dude.
Yeah.
You just gotta have like cargo shorts and a dad hat.
Blades, like Oakley blades.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in. So we rented it, and then we totally missed the return window because we were just having too much fun, and they were like, all right, we're just going to charge you for another day. And I was like, that's fine. And then the next day I returned it, and I showed him like the picture I had posted. I was like, dude, like this is so fun and all, like blah, blah. And he was like, oh, do you want to just take it again? And he was like, just take it out for another couple of days. And he gave me a manual transmission now because it's more fun. And I've had that, and I'm about
now you're an
halfway through that.
influencer.
Now I'm an influencer.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
I know, and I hate it. I didn't ask him for
no,
it.
No,
that's
but it
what
was a
you
really
are.
graceful entrance
It was a
into
great
that world.
Influencer, then
Very
writer,
natural.
and actor.
He did say like, it's like, oh, I wish I had known. I wouldn't have even charged you. As he's like swiping my card, and I was
Right.
like, well, just do it. You don't have to.
No, it's crazy
Yeah.
though, dude. Yeah. This one isn't working. Yeah, enough.
Yeah. So
Well, that's great. Oh, yeah. Have you bought anything that really is you would consider to be a little extra or lavish?
no, I'm not. I'm really. I like.
You've always
grew
been
up-
pretty good with your
yeah.
money.
I grew up on like the clearance rack. You know, my mom was like super. We like get into Marshalls and we go straight to. We're in Marshalls already, but we go to the clearance
Yeah.
rack.
Yeah.
You know?
The one at the Jan's Mall?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Ross, of course.
Ross
for less.
Always
For
at
less.
Ross.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty. I'm not. I wouldn't say stingy because I'm very generous with tipping and like.
Yeah.
I waited tables forever and I delivered pizzas forever. So like, and especially in the now in the pandemic, I really love like tipping big, but I just don't buy silly things that much.
Yeah.
I like that way of life.
Yeah.
Where
me
did you
too.
deliver
Except for a
pizza?
couple things.
Domino's Pizza in Thousand Oaks. Yeah.
Yeah, we spent. We're from the 805.
Yeah, we're 805ers.
Yeah, we're 805.
Yeah, 805. A couple 805ers. Thick.
We got
My
out.
husband has an 805.
It's so
remember?
mainstream of you.
Yeah. Her husband I known since he was 16 years old.
Is this the connection?
No,
Well,
the
this
connection's
was
through
actually
Rob.
the real connection,
Yeah.
but he was roommates with my husband's older brother.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Weird, right?
It was a weird sexual we were
Yeah.
exploring a lot back then.
Just
So
raw.
incestual.
So incestual, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, what's coming up then? You got season 3 that's out.
Season 3 aired on Adult Swim already, so
Yep.
I guess you can dig through their website to find it.
Mhm.
But it'll come out on Hulu shortly.
Yeah, season 1 and 2 are on Hulu.
1 and 2 are on Hulu. Season 3 comes out eventually.
They're very short episodes, and you can just plow through them. I highly recommend it. You're also in a movie that I saw a
the
couple
premiere,
years
right?
back, The Unicorn.
Yeah, did you
no,
go
I
out?
didn't go to the
Oh.
premiere. Thanks. And
That's funny because I didn't invite you.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I remember.
probably why I didn't
No,
make
I
it.
definitely invited you.
It's
I definitely invited
there was
you.
talk. There was talk.
Yeah,
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 I don't
of
think I made it.
You were there. He came over. You were at the barrier. He signed something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick,
Right,
remember
that's
me?
right.
Yeah, I had security escort you.
Yeah, you were dressed like Rick from Rick and Morty.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything I do is
Yeah,
like
it's all.
one step away.
And you're on Twitter, Nick Rutherford.
Nick Rutherford.
Instagram.
Nicholas Rutherford on Instagram.
That
Look
always
at that.
throws me. That always throws me.
It sucks.
Because I go when I search for you, I go NICK.
Oh,
Keep them
no.
on their toes. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude,
That
thank
keeps
you.
the truth
You get
in.
HBO money. You get Nick
Yeah.
Rutherford
Yeah.
on Twitter.
There you
That's
go.
I
yeah.
haven't been an influencer for long, so you know.
You're just starting.
I'm just
It's okay.
starting. So much to learn.
I miss you, and I thank you for
I miss
coming.
you too. This is really fun, and
Yeah,
I'm a
I wish I
fan.
could go drive that thing. I got to record another stupid
Yeah,
podcast.
that's fine. Well, you can, if you're around afterwards, and we can figure it out. But thanks. I'm a fan of the podcast. I'm a fan of you guys. Like,
Thanks.
Well, thanks.
And we're friends.
That's it, huh?
I thought we were running out of time. I feel like-
No, we got a couple extra.
Oh,
If anything you wanted to add.
Oh, okay.
We were friends.
Do you want to go
Oh,
to the
yeah.
bathroom in the sweatshop?
I do want to see the sweatshot.
Yeah.
We're
Alright.
watching Sopranos again. Very fun. So this is very trippy for me. And
Yeah.
Cassim and I have known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've known each other a while. I'm also a big fan of your work, Nick. Big fan
Yeah.
of you and what
And-
you do.
And thank you, and I appreciate that.
Anything you want to add, Bryce?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Oh.
Good job, guys.
Bryce has cut us off.
Sure. Yeah, we might have some. We might have some extra.
Oh, Bryce is doing this.
Another 5?
We got more
Bryce
room
is-
on that
Oh.
tape. Are we recording on tape?
Yeah, we read off cards. It's old.
Oh,
Oh, I can hear the cards. I can smell the cards smoking. I think they're
Yeah.
getting full.
All right. Well, this is all fine. Thank you guys for watching. We're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching. Click the notification bell. Follow us on Instagram. We're all on there, and Twitter. And follow Nick. And check out Dream Corp LLC on Adult Swim and Rick and Morty. So
Yeah.
proud of you.
Thanks, man. It's been a wild ride.
All right. Well, we'll see you on the next one.